Hey guys, alright, so this is a tutorial really quick. So we're going to talk a little bit about arrays and really what they are. So arrays are really interesting. They can be almost any data type, and you can show and display them. So typically through loops, recursive loops, and which we'll discuss in a separate tutorial other than this one. So those two really go hand in hand, so I urge you, if you're watching this one, to go watch the one about loops as well, and that'll kind of go more in depth about how some of these things are kind of stored in memory. So to kind of get started here, really looking, you see, we start this project like any other one. I just created a new project. I called it arrays. Again, this is a console 132 console application in Visual Studio here, and I'm including our IO stream and our namespace std, which both allow us to read and write to the console application. And so, real quick, I'm just going to show you kind of basically what a what we would normally expect from a basic input from a user. So I'm just going to say car name, and I'm just going to declare that, right? I declared my data type and I gave it a name, right? Data type and name. That's how we always declare our variables, data type and name. And now I'm going to display to the user. I'm going to prompt them, and I'm going to say, please enter your name, right? And now this is, and I need to end line so that it goes to the next line in the console window. And then I'm going to prompt the user for their name. And then I'm going to display it back to them. I'm going to tell them their name. So your name is name, end line, right? There. So it's pretty basic, right? Nothing fancy here. We've kind of talked about this in previous other videos. Basically, we're just asking the user for their name, end line goes to the next line in the console window, and then we prompt the user for their name. The user then is expected that they enter their name, and then we display that variable back out to the user using the cout and cin methods and the less than and greater than operators. Um, I guess I should note I always call it the less than and greater than. I don't really truly know what this operator is really called. These, if there is one that this is combined, perhaps I'll have to look it up after this tutorial, or if anybody wants to comment and fill me in, that'd be awesome. So in any case, so let's run this really quick. I'm going to run without debugging. I should also note you just hit Control F5 to do that. That's how I just do it really quick-handed. So it's going to ask me to enter my name, and I'm going to enter my name. So my name is Chris. So you see here, it just only grabbed the very first character, because that's really all. That's all it was expecting as a character. It's only one individual character, and each place here is a character. The C is a character, H is its own character, R is its own character, I is its own character, and S is its own character. These are each their own characters. So when I declare and I say, well, input a character, and I enter all these, it kind of thinks this as nonsense, really. Um, so skipping that, yeah, redundantly save too. You can always see that. So to tell it that I'm expecting more, I tell it hey, I want you to save enough room. And I need to make this a pointer. And now this is a pointer. It's telling it that, hey, I need you to create pull enough pull a stack of memory off of what's called a heap. Here, the heap is the amount is the load of memory which is available, and it pulls uh, essentially memory from there, and then keeps it and says, hey, I'm expecting this part of this memory to be for this variable here, and that's kind of a really rundown explanation of that. It's much more complicated than that, but for our sake, that's kind of how we're going to explain it. But so basically, we just said, okay, I'm expecting now up to 20 characters. I'm expecting up to 20 characters of user input, right? And now if I were to run it, and now if I were to run it, I could say, oh, please enter your name, and now I'll enter my name. And look at that, it displayed my whole entire name, just as expected, kind of. So, hey, anytime it can compile and it works, right? That's always a good time. So, car name is new car. So, right. So this is really uh, what a lot of recursive things are used for is through arrays. Um, Large amounts of memory being stored for class types and other data types. You won't see a lot of arrays of just basic types of, doubles and strings and things like that. But you can kind of think that this is kind of how strings work. They're large. They're rather really large versions of this, and basically they're almost infinite in length. They're huge, and a lot of times they're used to store things like keys and secure information, ciphered and hashed. And you'll see it a lot of time in your URLs and things like that. So, um, but for our sake, we're just we're not anywhere near that. We're just using it for names. So right now, that's kind of a really big crash course into arrays. And as we get a little further along, you'll see how arrays can be any data type. And again, data types are like cars, ints, and things like that. So hopefully this is a little bit not as abstract as I am thinking it is, but if it is, definitely question about it. So thanks for watching.